Life-changing decisions got them doing time. Could have been online, building an empire. Now they're in the yard, tough guys spitting through the wire. You live fast and die.
Hello, good people of the world. It is your boy Rolo C, and welcome back to Rolo Runs the City podcast. I am your host, Rolo. Anytime you want, feel free to hit me up. You can hit me up on Twitter at Rolo Runs the City, or on Instagram at Rolo Runs the City Music, or at Rolo Runs the City Podcast. And all things Rolo, you can definitely check out my website at rolorunthecity.com. Anywho, without further ado, we're going to talk about the track Game Over. The reason why this song was created was because I always notice, and I reiterate all the time to my kids, I always say, hey man, you playing that game, and that's all fine and well that you playing that video game, you get a second chance at it, but in life, you know, when it comes to the ultimate death, there is no second chances. So I always let them know that to always keep things in perspective, appreciate the moment, and not only that, but always remember, tomorrow's not promised to us, so today could always be your last. So, you know, live it as if it's your first day, but embrace it as if it were your last day. So when I made the track Game Over, I definitely got a couple of collaborations on it. You know, shout out to Lewis of the Rivers, who hooked up a verse on there. He's on verse 2. And on verse 3 of the song is Mr. JT himself. You've seen him on earlier seasons of my podcast with Rolo Runs the City podcast with JT. But, you know, as the song was being created, we wanted to make sure that we reiterated a message of, you know, really understanding, taking life for what it is. And, you know, specifically in my verse, you know, I talk about, you know, people living fast and they're dying fast too. And it's like I'm taking time of mine. So it's like I'm not rushing this process of life. You know, I'm embracing every moment. I'm embracing my wins. I'm embracing my losses. And trust what I tell you, there's more losses than there are wins. But when you win, you want to win big, you know. I always relate. I don't know what the hell I just said right now. Relate. Excuse me on that. I always try to relate like my life with baseball batting average, right? So if you're hitting 300, right, that's a pretty good batting average, right? Which specifically means you're only hitting 30% of the times you're being pitched at. You know, so you think, man, you're only hitting 30%. That's pretty bad. But if you think about how difficult the game of baseball is and the hand and eye coordination it takes to actually make contact with a 95 to 100 mile an hour fastball coming at you, you know, it's pretty impressive. So I always relate life to batting averages. So I always think to myself, I said, man, you know, you always suffer from some losses, you know, and there's going to be more losses than there are wins. But when you get the win, you got to win big. You know, if you're swinging, swing for the fence. You know, you haven't hit any in your last 5 or 6 tries. You might as well go ahead and try to swing for the fence. You know, hit the home run. But that's the way I look at things. As I was creating this song, I just, you know, made the beat, fell in love with the beat. I said, man, what can I put on this? And just basically talk about, you know, you got one life to live and take full advantage of it. And don't take it for granted. You know, a lot of people, instead of owning in on their talents, they squander it off, they procrastinate, or they decide to go down the wrong road, and they put either their life or their freedom at risk. And it's just not absolutely worth it to do that. You know, I remember there was a Cameron song. I believe it was Losing Weight. It was off of one of his first 2 projects. I can't remember which one. But it's a song called Losing Weight. Got Prodigy in it. And I love this line that he always says, man, because it's like every time I always think about, you know, trying to get after it, you know, it comes to mind. So he says, man, you can't get paid in an earth this big. You worthless kid. You don't even deserve to live. And that's absolutely true, man. I mean, there's 8.1 billion people on this earth, and you're telling me that if you don't have some sort of a skill or a talent, you're telling me you can't put foot to behind and try to get paid off of your stuff? Now, don't get me wrong. You know, if everybody was able to live off of their passions, I mean, we'd all be doing it, right? But, you know, some people who manage to stick it through, they get to a point where they can live out their dreams and see it out. And not only see it come to pass, but, you know, remain consistent and sustainable and see it stay, right? Then you've got a lot of people that are trying to make shortcuts in life, and they're putting, like I said, their life or their freedom at risk. And it's truly not worth it, you know? So on I'm on the first verse. So that's specifically what I talk about. I talk about, hey, man, you could have been doing this, this, and that, but you're deciding to go down the other route, and all it's going to do is lead you to death or in jail, you know? So it's like, you know, when you listen to the chorus of the song, it says you're going to live fast, you're going to die fast. So I don't mind. Don't get me wrong. I don't ride the brakes now. I hit the gas. So we're not telling you that we're living safe and careful and we're in a corner where it's nice and safe. No, we're not doing that. But we're not taking unnecessary risk. We're actually taking calculated risk to achieve the end goal, right? But enjoying the process as we're doing it, as opposed to trying to skip to the end and, well, then we'll see what happens. You're trying to take a shortcut in life. That's not going to happen. You know, there are no shortcuts in life. Sorry to tell you. It just isn't. It's nothing but hard work, dedication, and just really getting after it, you know. But I'm not going to keep you too long today. I just basically wanted to put that information out because, you know, these are the thought processes I had as I was creating this song. Like I said, the beat, when I made it, I said, man, this is definitely a classic instrumental. I'm like, but I got to come through right on this. So what are we going to write about? You know, and it's like, it sounds like the ending of something. It could be the ending of a video game, the ending of a movie, you know. So I'm like, man, game over, you know. And life, once it's game over for you, you're done. There isn't no continues. There isn't no extra guys you have. You know, you can't continue playing. You're done. And hopefully when you leave, you left a great mark on this earth. So that was really the thought process that was going behind this song. But I'm not going to keep y'all too long today. Just trying to get y'all ears so you guys can actually see what I was thinking as I was creating this song. Like I said, you know, I'm doing something new with this podcast this go round. I'm, you know, relating the podcast to the music titles I'm putting out and what's the thought process and the thinking and the catalyst of what created that song. And I'm trying to give you guys a little insight of how the song was built and, you know, what was the idea, the ideas behind putting together such music. So anywho, this is Rolo Runs the City. Like I said, you can feel free to reach out to me. You know, I'm on Instagram at Rolo Runs the City Music or at Rolo Runs the City Podcast. You can hit me up on both. I'm on Twitter at Rolo Runs the City. And like I said, feel free to stop by my website, All Things Rolo, at RoloRunsTheCity.com. That is RoloRunsTheCity.com. Look, y'all take care. Godspeed. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. And we'll see you on the next one. Remember this. Be the goat, never a sheep, and don't sleep on your dreams. Peace.
Life-changing decisions got them doing time. Could have been online, building an empire. Now they're in the yard, tough guys spitting through the wire. You live fast, you die.